putting the butter in here so I can melt it in the microwave. And then I have my baking dish. And I already have some fresh strawberries and pieces I haven't cut up, ready to go in. Done with this. This is a really easy and quick dessert that your families or you or whoever you're making it for will absolutely love. I thought of this when I was eating a cobbler and it had that heavy crust, hard crust on it, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way to make this, so I used a homemade cake mix, and I like it better. So we're melting our butter in the microwave, and when that's done, you want to put your butter in your baking dish first. There it is. And then we're going to put our fruit in. I like to even it all out. And as you can see, this mix I made, it's like a cake mix. Just pouring it to cover everywhere. And then I have the oven preheated at 350. Like I said, we're going to put it in the oven. And it's done. That's all there is to it. It'll bake for around 30 to 45 minutes, and then it'll be ready. Next, we're going to make what we call chicken and rice, homemade. My chicken is cooking. So, as you know, I have my boys helping me. So, I'm going to have them dice up some stuff for me. I have my grated sharp cheese, green chilies, my rice. It's a gravy mix. Don't need these anymore. And like I said, I have my rice there, and we have bell pepper. I like to use this red sweet onion, and we have garlic. We're going to have the boys do some work now since they're supposed to be learning. You can put that away. We'll get this onion ready for that. I don't think that's enough onion. Let's get it fresh. We have half a bell pepper, 3 garlic cloves. We're going to use.
They're really good though.
Yeah, they're sweet onions, is what they are. They're not as stout as your yellow onion or your white onion. Okay. So we don't need that. And now our little garbage disposal sound lights over here. So we're gonna take the ends off these. And we're going to have one of you dice up the garlic. The filling's pretty much off these two. It's only going to be off all 3 of them. You're still smashing the dice. We need bell pepper diced up, onion diced up, and garlic diced up. Things falling out here. We're going to mix that in. Oh, there's so many small ones left. making that in a bigger dish.
Okay, can you get the other? I'm starting to cry.
It's starting to cry. Part of learning to cook, son.
They're so bad.
What?
They're bad on my eyes.
They're not even the strong onions.
No, dear.
They're the sweet onions. They're not even strong. You shouldn't have a problem with these. You're never going to be able to do onions. If you want to be a cook, you got to learn to get through the crying stage of dicing up onions. Because onions go in a lot of stuff, especially in the food I make.
No, I love onions. I eat them. I just
Right.
don't like cooking.
But if you're going to learn to cook, you can't just call someone in to do your onions when you want to, can you? Okay, the onions are done.
I'll do the garlic, guys.
I'll just smash them and dice them up. Chucky will have you do the bell pepper when he's done. We're going to start our
We're
we're going to start our water for our rice. Chicken's cooking.
Oops.
There.
I just
Dice that up. Just dice it up small. Put it in with the onions. It can all go together.
Damn.
And I like to saute my onions and bell pepper and garlic up so they're not really hard in the food, and you don't have to wait for them to cook along with the rest of it, so you can, they'll be ready when they go in there. Seriously? I have a bit of a cold, so. Here, let me finish that up. That's okay. That's how you learn. I think the most time-consuming part of this is actually waiting for the rice and the chicken to cook. Okay? So, and our chicken looks like it's getting done. Well, that didn't work. It's too short. Now Chucky's going to dice up the green pepper. We're going to need a small pot of our gravy. And I use just a white country gravy. You can use a chicken gravy if you want. You can use packaged gravy or homemade gravy, whatever kind of gravy you want to use. You can also, if you don't want that, you can substitute it for cream of mushroom soup. I like it with the gravy better, and so does the family, so that's why we use it that way. So basically your prep work is getting these things diced up, dicing up your chicken, and cooking off, of course, you're cooking off your chicken tenders and your rice. That's the prep of it. Then we're just going to mix things together and put it in the oven for a little bit. And while we're doing that, we can do a little teaching the boys some things by just talking to them, and we're going to have to wait for stuff to get done here. I'm going to go ahead and put my rice in the water even though it's not totally boiling yet. That won't hurt it. And we're going to cover that. Hopefully this lid fits. It's not the right thing. Nope. chicken's about done. So we're going to strain that. I did nothing special there. I just boiled it in regular water. We gotta get them ready here. Just put them in this skillet when you got them ready. I saute your skillet. One thing I've always been is kind of a klutz, so I tend to make messes. I spill things. And one of my sons is following in that footstep. Not this one. That one. Rice is boiling, that's good. So we're going to get this on the stove. We're going to saute that up. Then we're going to be using this. And of course now the big thing is we have to, dice up our chicken.
You're dead, Gigi?
Like I said, I just did 5 tenders. You can use any chicken you want. Chicken, dark meat, white meat, breast, however you want to do it.
Water's going over.
It's okay. You can cook a breast up. You can take it off the whole chicken, however you want to do it, however much you want to make.
You like tenders, right, Dad? You like tenders, huh?
I use tenders. They're all white meat. I buy them frozen in a bag, so they're really convenient.
We eat a lot of tenders.
And they cook fast.
We eat a lot of tenders.
I don't like to waste time.
We eat a lot of tenders.
Yeah, we eat a lot of tenders. In things.
Yeah.
Sometimes by themselves, but usually in things. I use them for a lot of chicken dishes.
Yeah.
So we have our chicken. I don't like it too small, but I don't want big chunks either. You can use any kind of rice you want. We use brown rice because we're about cooking healthy. You see, people today, they just buy processed food and they things from a box or a bag or heat up in the microwave, or they're already cooked and they just got to heat it up. Nobody comes in the kitchen and cooks anymore, and that is the point of this. I want to teach people that they can come back in their kitchen and they can shop right, and then they can come in here and learn to cook a lot of good dishes that are delicious, and they're not time consuming or very, actually, if you buy these kind of ingredients, they're actually cheaper than buying the stuff already done. And they're way better for you healthy wise. I mean, you don't have the additives and the preservatives and the flavoroids and all the bad things in it. Processed food is not very good for you. And homemade food is actually very nutritious. I mean, it's still got some things in it, but the good outweighs the bad by so much of a bound, it's not even comparable. Where it's just the opposite with the stuff from the boxes and stuff. It's just, or from a restaurant, it's just the bad is overwhelming over the good. And so I thought, well, you know, people maybe if they knew how to cook some things, they'd get back in the kitchen and do it. And if they knew it didn't take all day process, you know. I mean, we usually spend 30 minutes or so in the kitchen for a meal, at the most. And that's not a lot out of your day to have a healthy meal and to keep healthy. And to have delicious homemade food. It tastes so much better because it doesn't have all those things added to it. You're getting the natural flavor from the foods. I'm not cooking with things that you can't pronounce or find in a store. I'm using simple ingredients that you can get at any grocery store. Nothing gourmet or anything fancy. I mean, we're just cooking with regular food here. And you'd be surprised what you can do with it. All you need is a little knowledge and get in there and do it and take the time to do it. And you'll be, the reward for it is big because the flavor's so good and you know you're eating a healthy meal. And you're giving the people that you're feeding a good healthy meal. I hope to make several videos, and I hope to make at least 2 meals on each video. That's the plan. I don't know how well that's going to work, but I'm going to be adding them to my website, you know, a couple times a week at least. And I hope that people will get a lot out of them. My boys, they're kind of zombitized today, but normally they're a little more energetic. You don't have to get these vegetables all the way soft. You just want to get them beyond the crispy part. It is going to go in the oven and finish cooking, therefore they don't have to be that far where the onions get black or anything. So we're going to go ahead and, we've got them sauteed, we're going to go ahead and dump them in our casserole dish here, which we'll mix everything right in there. One thing I do go through a lot of cooking stuff, cooking utensils and pans and dishes and everything when I cook, because I like to do everything in different things. We don't want to forget that we have that delicious cobbler in the oven, and it's doing well. I just hope it rises well because I kind of forgot to buy new baking powder, so I used my old. And that stuff does lose its strength over time. I added a little extra, so I'm hopeful. I just need to get this rice cooked now. And we need to get our gravy on. We're done with this lid. We're going to need that stringer though for the rice. We want you to watch that gravy over there. Where'd you put my whip? We can go ahead and put our meat in here too. We can add our green chilies. These are just diced green chilies. The mild ones. I don't like hot or spicy, so I use the mild ones. Mix that all up. About this time is when you wish you had an overhead camera, but we're doing this on just a regular home camera. We don't have access to the things that the networks and stuff do, so we're just using a simple little homemade video camera to do this, and my wife is working the camera. So the quality of the video may not be as good as the professional ones, but the important thing is that the cooking's good and that you can learn how to do this. This is going to be a very big dish for this chicken and rice. How's our rice going? Getting there. My gravy's about done. We got our gravy done. And our rice is almost done. So this is just our cheese left. Our rice is just about done. Our gravy's ready. And to season, I think we're going to have to make room for the chicken and rice. So what I'm going to do is turn my cobbler sideways in here. So I got room to put my chicken and rice in. The cobbler's obviously going to take longer. Getting there. Unfortunately, the rice takes a little longer than anything else. But, again, this isn't going to take super long time to make. It's quick rice, so it shouldn't be too long. We need a nice plate for presentation. I like the square ones. Maybe we don't even have to drain this. The water's cooking all the way out. So we're gonna, as soon as our rice is done, we're gonna add that to our pot here. Excuse me. And we're gonna put our gravy in there. Stir that all up. We're just mixing it all together, marrying it all together here. And we're going to take and put just some regular seasoning salt. Some ground pepper. And our cheese. Like I said, it's sharp cheese. So we're going to mix that all together. And like I said, we got a little bit bigger container than we needed. Because I put the peach cobbler in the right size one. So, as you can see, the rice is so hot that it's already melting together. We may not even need to put this in the oven. But we're going to anyway. Just so it can blend really well. So we're going to take this chicken and rice. We're going to set it right in there beside the cobbler, which is doing really well. Get that. We're going to leave this for the cobbler and give it all these knives. And then we're going to clean. I kind of clean as I go. And these come in handy because they keep you from touching a hot dish. So that's basically the procedures to making homemade chicken and rice and homemade cobbler. And you can use any fruit you want in the cobbler, and you can use pretty much any type meat. You could even put pork in there, or turkey, or whatever in the chicken and rice. We happen to like the chicken. And this is just one example of what you can do in not much time in the kitchen. As you've seen, I didn't have to have any special ingredients. Everything I had on hand. And of course, we don't always have strawberries on hand, but we do most of the time because my wife likes to eat them with everything. So we usually have them. And of course, I use just regular canned peaches and drain them. You can use any kind of fruit you want in the cobbler, though. I've tried it with like mixed berries, and that's really good. But you will want, now, I know that, you know, the sugar is what's bad for you, but, you know, it's a dessert, and just about every dessert's got some sugar in it. And if you don't put sugar in there, then berries are not going to be very sweet. And neither is that cake. So you have to have the sugar in there for that. And we usually just top ours with some whipped cream or ice cream. Yeah, we don't. So, right now we're kind of waiting. We're in the waiting period because we got the things in the oven. When they come out, we're going to put them in, display them. And then we're going to have dinner. So we're not just cooking for this video and for these lessons, we're cooking what we eat. This is our dinner. And each night we pick what we're going to have for dinner, and then if it's something that I think is people need to learn how to do, or it's a dish that's just mine, I like to make a video of it and share it with everyone. If it's something simple like a cheeseburger, I don't think I'd make a video of it because pretty much anybody can make a cheeseburger. Although I do make pretty good cheeseburgers. But I was fortunate that when I was 16 years old, I worked in a restaurant, and I worked in a restaurant that did everything from scratch, and I do mean everything from scratch. They even butchered their own side of beef, made all their sauces, everything. And so I learned that. That's how I learned how to cook. And the owner of the restaurant really liked me, so he took me under his wings and he taught me all his tricks and taught me all these things. Well, as time went on and I was working at other restaurants, I found out that they stopped doing all that stuff by scratch. Some restaurants I got in there and showed them how they could save money and have better quality food by doing so, and some did and some wouldn't. They were stuck on their ways and didn't want to do it because they said they couldn't hire people to have the knowledge to do that. I've also owned a restaurant, and I did everything my way, and it was quite successful for a while. It was in a very small town, and things happened, but I had them standing in the doorway for my food. And I've done it at home. I've taught my daughter and my wife, and now my 2 sons, and I've shared it with other people and gotten a lot of compliments. But the most important thing is that we want to eat healthy, and we want others of the people of the world that are interested to learn how to eat healthy too, so they can have a longer, healthy life and don't have to rely on the food that's available in the restaurants or drive-through windows or even the store and all the boxes and stuff. And they want you to eat that stuff because, well, they make a lot of money off of it. So basically what we did here, we put the chicken and rice in the oven just to get the cheese, couldn't melt it through it. Our cobbler's doing well. It's not quite done yet, but our chicken and rice is. Now the cheese is melted all the way through, and as I said, it's sharp cheese. I like to use sharp cheese. And so, just to give you an idea of what you got here, and I usually serve this with such as a butter bread or something, and as you can see, it's in the dish and it's homemade, and I would like to, for that peach cobbler, to hurry up so I could show you that. tell if your cobbler's done is just to use a regular toothpick. Just bring it out enough that, and don't forget to use your mitt warmer. Bring it out enough to stick that toothpick in there and see if it comes out clean like it is. See that? That's done. So, and as you can see, it's a homemade peach cobbler with strawberries. It's a homemade cake mix. And you can top it with ice cream or Cool Whip. And we usually just have this with a piece of bread or something. And there you have it. That's how quick and easy it is to make homemade chicken and rice and homemade cobbler. I hope you got something from this video, and I hope that you'll get in your kitchen and try and do something like this, or try to make this. So until next time, God bless you. Bye.